Imagine, for a moment, standing on the shore of a vast, tranquil lake. Its surface is perfectly still, mirroring the sky above with stunning clarity. The air is crisp, the silence profound, and every breath you take seems to soak in the peace that radiates from the water's edge. This lake, so quiet and clear, is much like the mind when it is free, empty of turbulence, open to reflection, receptive to the wonders of the world. But life, as you know, rarely offers such stillness. Each day our minds become like rivers after a storm, cluttered with debris, swirling with thoughts, anxieties and memories. We carry with us the weight of yesterday's regrets, today's worries, and tomorrow's uncertainties. Our minds become crowded rooms, every corner filled with opinions, judgments, assumptions, and beliefs we've picked up along the way. The more we hold on, the heavier our steps become, and the harder it is to see clearly. There is an ancient story that speaks to this very dilemma, a tale that has echoed through centuries, across cultures, offering wisdom to those who seek it. It is the story of a wise master and an eager student, both searching for truth. One day, the student, filled with pride from years of study and achievement, came to the master's humble house. He had heard of the master's legendary wisdom, and he wanted to learn everything he could, to add one more jewel to his crown of knowledge. He entered with confidence, his mind brimming with answers, assumptions, and expectations. The master greeted him kindly, and together they sat down for tea. As the student began to speak, words tumbled out, his theories, his successes, his ideas about life and learning. He spoke and spoke, scarcely pausing for breath, eager to impress, to prove his worth. All the while, the master listened in silence, nodding patiently. At last, the master began to pour tea into the student's cup. He poured slowly, steadily, and the student watched, expecting the master to stop. But the master kept pouring, and soon the tea overflowed, spilling onto the table and the student's lap. Alarmed, the student exclaimed, "Stop! The cup is full! No more will go in!" The master set down the pot and looked into the student's eyes. "Like this cup," he said gently, "your mind is full. How can I show you wisdom unless you first empty your mind?" In that moment, the student understood. To receive, he must first let go. To grow, he must make space. To become wise, he must first become humble. This story, though simple, carries a profound truth. Too often, we cling to our thoughts, our stories, our old ways of seeing the world. We become attached to our opinions, our judgments, our fears. We fill ourselves with noise, convinced that to be full is to be strong, that to know more is always better. Yet in reality, wisdom begins in emptiness. Growth begins with letting go. Imagine your mind like that cup, filled with old tea, leaving no room for anything new. Imagine what might happen if, just for a moment, you poured out what no longer serves you. The doubts that whisper you're not enough. The anger that flares at small annoyances. The regrets that haunt you from days gone by. The worries about tomorrow's unknowns. Imagine emptying your mind, setting down the burdens, releasing the clutter, making space for something greater. Emptiness is not nothingness, it is potential. When the mind is empty, it becomes open, receptive, alive to possibility. In the space of emptiness, inspiration flows, creativity awakens, wisdom enters. Like the quiet lake reflecting the sky, an empty mind can mirror the truth, undistorted. Consider the greatest breakthroughs in history. The moments of genius, of revelation, of transformation. They rarely come when the mind is noisy, crowded, or rigid. They arrive in moments of stillness, when the mind is open, free, empty of expectation. Artists speak of the blank canvas, writers of the empty page, scientists of the unknown. In emptiness, new worlds are born. But how, you might ask, can one empty the mind in a world so full? Life demands attention. Responsibilities press in. The noise of daily existence is relentless. Yet, emptiness is not escape. It is not denial. It is a practice, a discipline, a choice. It begins with awareness. Begin by noticing the thoughts that fill your mind. Observe them as you might clouds drifting across the sky. Do not judge them. Do not cling to them. Simply see them, acknowledge them, and let them pass. In time, you will discover that thoughts are not facts, feelings are not forever, and you are not defined by the contents of your mind. Embracing emptiness is also about humility. It is the willingness to admit that you do not know everything, that your way is not the only way. It is the courage to listen deeply, to receive wisdom from unexpected sources, to remain teachable. The greatest leaders are those who empty themselves of ego, who make space for the ideas, dreams, and gifts of others. Emptiness is the soil in which gratitude grows. When you let go of what you think you lack, you begin to see what you truly have. When you release the need for control, you open yourself to trust. When you empty your mind of judgment, you make room for understanding. In relationships, emptiness means letting go of past hurts, of rigid expectations, of the need to always be right. It means approaching those you love with fresh eyes, with openness, with the willingness to see them anew, to forgive, to heal. In the pursuit of your dreams, emptiness is the courage to set down old stories of failure, to release self-doubt, to make space for possibility. It is the discipline to quiet the inner critic and listen for the voice of inspiration. It is the humility to ask for help, to seek guidance, to remain open to growth. Emptying your mind is not a destination, it is a journey. Each day you are invited to lay down what no longer serves you, to make space for new wisdom, new joy, new possibility. It is not easy, but it is profoundly powerful. So, as you stand at the edge of life's vast lake, ask yourself, what am I holding on to that I can release today? What burdens can I set down? What judgments can I let go of? What stories can I rewrite? How can I empty my mind to receive the gifts of this moment, the beauty, the wisdom, the peace that awaits? Remember, the greatest strength is not in holding on, but in letting go. The greatest wisdom is found not in fullness, but in emptiness. In the space you create, life will rush in, filling you with clarity, purpose, and possibility. Empty your mind, make space, become open, and watch as the world, in all its wonder, unfolds before you, fresh, new, and alive with potential.